Lavanya, along with my co-presenters Sheldon, Ajay and Impreet, will be presenting the team business process design on Ballarat Beauty Basics. So in this presentation, we will be discussing about the process categorization model and maturity model, the case function matrix, two process models designing, the 7 different process modeling guidelines to know whether they are adhering to the process models or not, cycle time for each process model, redesigning of the process model and the automation of one of the process. So before directly going on to the technical part, let's see what Ballarat Beauty Basics is. So it is a type of salon that provides services related to hair, skin, nails, and the business process is not only related to providing services to the new, existing and the healthcare and pensioner cardholder clients, but also involves the activities starting from when the client entered the salon till the time the client exits the salon, which includes all the processes starting from the sign-in, entering of the details of the treatments which they are going to undertake. If it's a new client, then upgrading and updating all the information and creating a new account for them, providing them services, then fees provision on the basis of the discounts offered to them, because if it's a new client, then no discount, but if it's an existing client and the healthcare and pensioner card holders, of course discounts are provided to them based on their services taken by them. And not only this, when they're exiting the salon, the newsletters and goodies are given away to the new clients, the newsletters, and to the existing clients. Along with the newsletter, the goodies and the takeaways, show bags is also provided to them, and along with it social media marketing has been done. So now me along with my group mates will be presenting the designing part. Now let's start with Sheldon.
Thank you, Lavanya. To start off with our business process modeling, the first step was the designation phase, where we should be categorizing the different processes. And to do that, we have used Michael Porter's value chain model to help categorize the different processes in Ballarat Beauty Basics and divide them between the primary activities and the key activities and their support activities. The aim here is to identify the set of business processes and establish a criteria for evaluating them. Based on Porter's model, we have identified the key activities and primary activities for Ballarat Beauty Basics, which is the treatment process, the checkout process, which involves payment of the fees and sale of the beauty products. There are marketing processes, which include social media marketing and providing the newsletter and the gifts, the takeaway bags. And then we have our support activities, which is the sign-in and registration process. And this is also accompanied by the updation of the online consumer database. So here the aim is to find a trade-off between impact and manageability. And we have also concluded that the processes here are in sequential process. The way ahead from here is, now that we've identified these activities, we will also identify the key tasks within each activity, see which of them are creating value and which are not creating value, identify the linkage between these processes, and also try to eliminate those tasks which are not adding any value to the process. In order to get to the evaluation phase and prepare our capability maturity model and identify at which maturity level is Ballarat Beauty Basics at, we first had to make a list of the different capabilities that the company has to offer, along with the resources available for each of them. With the help of the information of the case study, which included their popularity on social network, their newly renovated rooms for treatments, we were able to list down these as the capabilities and their relevant resources available to enhance these capabilities. With the help of this information, we were able to identify that Ballarat Beauty Basics fell under maturity level 3. Since it is more characterized and standardized than a project level, but they are not being controlled using statistical techniques, we could conclude that they didn't fall under maturity level 2 or 4. Hence, we concluded that it fell under maturity level 3, where the processes are constant, standardized for each and every customer segment, and they are also characterized by the participants that are involved in the processes and the time taken to complete these processes. Now that we know about the designation phase and the evaluation phase, I would now like to forward it across to Lavanya, who will explain about the business case function matrix. Over to you, Lavanya.
Thank you, Sheldon. Now I'll be presenting the case function matrix of the case study provided. In this case function matrix, there are two cases provided to us, that is the clients. Existing clients, new clients, and the healthcare and pensioner card holders are the different cases. And in the functions, we have two basic functions, that is the sign-in and registration process and the checkout process. So this is what functions are provided to them, and this matrix shows on the basis of the services which are provided to different cases, that is the different clients. For example, in the sign-in process, the complete the client details and entering all the new data, their contact information is done for the new clients, because existing clients and healthcare and pension card holders details are already there with the salon. Similarly, in sign-in process, sign-in of each and every client will be done. Washing and sanitization of the hands will be done by all of them. Confirming the updating and all kind of information will be done for the existing clients and the healthcare clients. And sending the record to the main database, that has to be done for all of them. And then choosing the therapy will be done for all of them. So this is what the case function matrix is. What are the functions and what all are performing these functions, or which clients are involved therein. Like if we can see that booking appointment for the next thing part has been done for all of them, but the goodies which are provided, that is the show bag, will be provided only to the existing and the healthcare and pension card holders, and not the new clients. But for the new clients and other two as well, the newsletters will be provided. So this is the representation of the case function matrix. Now again, over to Sheldon.
Thank you, Lavanya. So before we could identify and model any two processes, what we have done is we've created a model for the entire process of Ballarat Beauty Basics from the start to the finish, which includes the sign-in and registration process, the treatment process, after sales, which includes providing the takeaways and the newsletter, and the sale of the beauty products, checkout and payment of the fees, and the management of social media marketing. From this entire process, we've selected two processes to model. The first process is the sign-in and the registration process, which is a little different for new and existing clients. And the second process we have identified is the checkout process, which includes the payment of the fees, the discount, the after sales services. From here, Lavanya will be explaining how both of these models are adhering to the 7 PMG guidelines. Over to you, Lavanya.
Thank you, Sheldon, for providing the process models. Now I'll be providing the 7 process modeling guidelines and conventions provided by Mendling. Now I'll see whether Sheldon's sign-in process model and the checkout process model are adhering to these guidelines or not. So let's have a look. But first, what are these guidelines? The first is adopting minimal elements, diminishing the routing of the ways for each element, employing the start point and the end point, displaying a structured and organized data, evading of the OR gateways, applying the verb object terms used, and decomposing 30 elements in the model. Now let's see whether Sheldon's process has been adhering to it or not. So this was the sign-in and registration process provided by Sheldon. Now let's see how it is related. The first is adopting minimal elements. Yes, the minimal elements have been there. Diminishing the transmitting pathways for each element. Yes, not that much. It's all good. Start and the end point. Yes, we do have a start and an end point here. Evading the OR gateways path. No, because we have a lot of gateway paths here. So no. Displaying structured and organized data. Yes, it is organized, very much organized. Applying verb object terms for each element. Yes, here everything is related to the verb and object form, and not the complete sentences are not there. And decomposing 30 elements and more in a model? No, it's less than 30 here. Now, coming over to the checkout process, let's see. So this was the checkout process provided by Sheldon. Now let's see. Adopting minimal elements? No, a lot more than the check-in process. Diminishing the transmitting pathways for each element? No, we have. Like in the check-in process, yes, we do have here as well. Employing start and the end point? Yes, of course, we have a start and the end point. Displaying structured and organizational data, yes, the data is structured so that everyone can easily understand what's going on here. Evading OR gateways, no, there's a lot of OR gateways, but it is necessary to show what relations each and every element have. Applying verb object terms for elements, no. In some of the things, the verb object have not been described properly. Like there is a sentence provided here. Here it's mentioned providing discount. It could be replaced with just offering discount or just the discount number. Similarly, then providing a sell-on newsletter. So just newsletter could be done in order to just save and adhere to the guideline. And decomposing 30 elements and more in the model, no, it's less than 30 elements. Now I would like to pass on to my next team member.
Good morning everyone, this is Ajay Chaudhary. My student ID is 30365570 and topic for today is the calculation of cycle time for process models including in Ballarat Beauty Basics. So this is the part 5 I'm doing right now. So let's calculate the cycle time for process model 1. So this is the process model we are watching right now. So let's go with it first. So first of all, the cycle start from opening salon, then we check for the existing client and new client. If this is new client, then it needs 15 minutes to complete the details, and then proceed to the further steps. So these are the further steps, like signing in and confirm personal details, and washing hands and sanitizing, and then confirming home address and email address, and setting up new client record, and then the signing in and registration process is done. So let's calculate the cycle time for that. So when customers sign in to the Ballarat Beauty Basics, confidential and personal details are taken, which takes 15 minutes. So they are asked to sign in and confirm personal details, which takes 5 minutes. So the customers then wash their hands for 5 minutes. On arrival of a new client, a new record is set up, which takes 30 minutes. So therefore cycle time for signing in registration process is 0.2, 0.06, 0.03 and 0.2 minutes respectively. So some assumption to be made, so I will assume it in my part 3. So let's proceed to the process model 2. So in process modeling 2, it is a checkout process where the services have been provided and customer get a discount and some other benefits. So let's have a look on the process model 2. So like first of all, enter treatment details, then we check for the existing client as well. So if it is existing client, then 6% discounts will be offered, and then provide newsletter, then provide show bag with giveaways to the existing clients only. So then the discount and charges, and then social marketing and book appointment. So book next appointment. So it's a whole process. So now calculate the cycle time for process model 2. So the total cycle time for the checkout process is calculated by identifying the total time used to offer these services to each client. When a customer is ready to check out from beauty salon, he or she is asked to enter their required treatment details into the electronic record, which takes 5 minutes. After sharing information about the discount, the client is asked to book the next appointment, which takes 5 minutes. And then client is then engaged in social media marketing activities, which takes another 30 minutes. The overall cycle time for customer checkout process is 0.2, 0.2 and 0.03 minutes respectively. So some assumptions have to be made, and now let's make some assumption according to the time delivery and process handling. So there are some assumptions which I have made in process model 1. Like I have assumed there are 60% of existing clients and 40% of new clients, and for 60% there will be a 2 minute for verification and identification checking. And first of all, the entity will start from checking for existing and new user, which take 5 minutes. This is also an assumption. So and for the whole process, process models, I took 60% for existing clients and 40% for new clients. And now let's check for the cycle time for after taking assumptions. After taking assumption in this process, it is assumed that first step taken reception is to identify whether the client is existing user or new. In recognition, the 5 minutes have been spent in the second step. It is predicted that 60% of clients are existing users while 40% are new users. Let's talk about cycle time for signing in process. For XOR block, we used XOR block for that, XOR gateway. The formula implemented for average cycle time should be like a plus b plus a plus c divided by 2. It is for calculating the average cycle time, but total cycle time should be a plus probability into c plus probability into c. Total cycle time should be 21.4 minutes for the whole process. If let's talk about the process model 2. I took the same percentage, same assumption for the process model 2 as well. Like there will be 60% existing users and 40% new clients as well. So I took some time intervals which were not given in the case study. So I assumed some time intervals which is considerably suitable for the each processes. So let's take a look on a cycle time for that. Again, the probability of existing users is 60% or 40% for new users. Sometimes intervals were not given in the case study, so I assumed my perception and given in the process for offer beauty products, provide salon newsletter and discount and charges. Hence we use the XOR block again in the process 2 as well, so we will use the same formula for that. So total time cycle for process 2 is 55.3 minutes. But if we want to check the cycle time for single step, we will calculate the time period for that step, and we will divide it by the whole time. Like as in, if you want to check the cycle time for entering details into client electronic data is 5 minutes, like then the cycle time for that process will be 5 divided by 5.53. That is the whole time spent by the whole process. That will be 0.09 minute for that single step. So hence we can check the cycle time for each step including in the whole process by formulating this formula. So these are two references from where I get the knowledge about how to calculate the cycle time in a process model. So thank you very much.
Hello, my name is Niprisi. I will continue the project work from here. As shown, designing is the process of self-evaluating our work to improve working models by improvising advanced and digital version and implementing more and more automated pattern, which further results in minimizing the time take. There are many steps involved in the process of redesigning. For example, on the basic of customer, external environment, technology environment, process behavior and automation. The two basic pillars of redesigning are the diverse quadrangle and heuristic methodology. Diverse quadrangle is based on time, quality, cost, and flexibility. By redesigning, our main motive is to reduce the time taken, improves the quality, minimize cost, and enhance flexibility of model. This is the new redesigned check-in system. I implement automation technique to improvise its functioning. More the designing making higher the filtration of raw data and hence gives the improvised quality. I added option to strengthen the flexibility of the overall system. Heuristic process redesign process in which we take different aspects like customer automation, external factor, and compare the results of its effects on the four whole soul basis of pillars of Devil's Quadrangle. For In result, the cost of overall system is reduced, quality decreases due to more auto dependency. Time reduces but flexibility decreases in activity automation. But in integral technology, time and flexibility remains independent. There were mainly five manual issues which I redesigned. In this model, we increases the inability for end users. Tracking is easier, introducing of online payment system, auto generation system, saved answer for frequent asked queries. So from here, my friend Ajay will take it forward.
Good morning, ma'am, sir. Before going to the conclusion part, I would like to an overview on work list for each member, like the contribution of each member of the group has been displayed below as per the task performed for the completion of the report. Uh, First of all, Lavanya has done executive summary, introduction, case function matrix, 7 PMG for check-in and registration process, and 7 PMG for checkout process. And Sheldon has done process categorization model and capability maturity model, and process model for check-in registration process, and process model for checkout process. This is Ajay, and I have calculated cycle time for check-in and registration process model, and cycle time for checkout process and conclusion part. So Inpreet Singh has done redesigning for check-in and registration process, redesigning for checkout process, and automation process. And let me conclude. In the conclusion, all in all, there were 12 steps included in the report which we need to mention, and according to the report, it has been discussed that what business process model is involved in Ballarat Beauty Basics. At the first side, a categorization model has been prepared to recognize ideas and objects including in the beauty businesses and sorted by category. And afterwards, two process models have been produced. First one is sign-in and registration process, and second one is checkout process model. Accordingly, the cycle time for each process has been calculated by using time interval given in the case study, and some assumptions have also been taken to make the workflow smooth. So furthermore, we checked what other changes we can make to the process model, and using draw.io software. This is a free tool which we can use for designing and implementing some entities. So we redesigned the existing process model. Last but not the least, 5-step automation was discussed, in which issues related to the processes, as in which signing in, tracking, verification, marketing needs and demands, and workload have been solved with the help of automation. At the end, it can be concluded that every process involved in the business of Ballarat Beauty Basics has its own mean and own priority in the completion of work cycle. And references have been shown at the report, at the end of the report. Thank you very much.